Hello, everybody, and welcome along. Guess who's back in the building? It's time for the other dimension.
Welcome to the other dimension with the team Damon Penny, Ben Winfield, and Louisa Brown. We guide you through the supernatural, the occult, and the unexplained, answering questions that will make you question your grip of reality, with special guests guiding you through everything from demons to divination, cryptids to crystals, religion to skeptics. We explore in depth the true meaning of the unexplained. So strap in, kick back, and enjoy as we enter the other dimension.
That was supposed to happen. That way. Hello! I was trying an evil Bond thing where I spin around in the chair like I've been waiting for you, Mr. Bond, and I just smashed my head on it. Oh my days. Welcome along, everybody. It's time for the other dimension. Guess who's back in the building? Mr. Winfield. And the crowd go crazy. Sorry.
Lou is out with the Evenator. They are out having a nice time somewhere. I can't quite know where. But Stu will either be back at towards the end of the show, or she might even drop in halfway through the show. I do not know. Fortunately, you're stuck with just me and Damon.
Yeah, big shout out to Kate. All right, we Joe. That I didn't realise when you first went on holiday, I'd actually booked to take my mum to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on the Friday, and I was like, ah! So me and Kate moved it to the Sunday, and that show literally we've done a show on AI, and do you know what? We was talking about a Chat GPT thing.
I watched.
Cool, man.
I watched. Did
you watch it? You were sitting in paradise, sipping on your little cocktail with your little umbrella in it, watching me and Kate talk about artificial intelligence.
Cocktail, man. It was out of a full, coconut.
Legend. Right, guys, welcome along. It's the other dimension. Oh, yeah. I've been looking forward to the show tonight. I've actually really been looking forward to that. I've got a new setup now. I don't know if you realize I've got a new setup now, right? And I've got something to ask the audience and the guys out there. Now, as you can see, I've got a little collection. My as we call it in London, I've got my little thing going on. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? But I am looking for people to donate things to put up on this wall. So if there's anything that you have that reminds you of us here at the other dimension, please send it to me, because I want to stick it on this is going to be my wall of fame here. I'm going to have bits from all of our listeners up on this wall here. Yeah, I've even got little hooks to hang things up here. So it's all going to be there. And eventually I'm going to move the tripod a little bit further back so you can see the whole thing. But that's the idea. So if you've got anything you wish to donate, please donate it to me. Hit me up after the show. I'll pay you for postage. It'll be lovely to have something from you guys. Big shout out to Dave. How you doing, Dave?
No underwear or anything like that.
Yeah. So, tonight's show, before Ben gets to his confession, I have a confession to make that's going to make him absolutely wet his pants. So, picture yourself, last weekend, right? I'm getting up early on Saturday morning because I actually believe that I've got a wedding to go to in Derby. Now, I drove an hour and 15 minutes down the motorway and texted Ems and said, I'm on my way, should we get something to eat? And she said, are you on your way? I said, yeah. She went, I'm at work. I only got the wrong weekend. It's not this next weekend.
There is no hope. There is no hope.
I could not believe it. I was like, oh, all right, okay, that's cool. I'll drive back. Oh, dearie me, what a donut. Actually, Jeanette. Family net.
Right.
Go on, hit us with it.
Well, first off, I'm going to admit to my confession.
Go on then, mate.
So, obviously, we dropped in, had a little nosy on the show while I've been away. We like to keep our eyes on everything. And Damon's show last Friday, was it last Friday?
Yes. Yeah,
last Friday, completely and utterly got me wrapped round in madness, and I even fell for his trick. I was, and Lou will vouch for this, I was screaming and shouting and stomping up and down our little bungalow of him doing so much auto-suggestion, it was winding me up. And then at the end, when you said that that's the whole purpose of it, I had to bow my head and smile and said, it had got me. So yeah, hands up. Even I was screaming and shouting at the TV for that one.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing the world it didn't exist.
Yep.
Led Zeppelin. It was Led Zeppelin that said that, wasn't it?
No, that was I don't know. You know,
I'm sure they've done a song like that.
a lot of Led Zeppelin songs were stolen though from the black community.
Yeah. Mm. Talking of crazy stuff, I was listening to a show on podcast the other day, and it was talking about this Anunnaki thing that everyone keeps banging on about because it's come to light now. And me and you, we've had conversations on the show about it, and we spoke to what's her name, Anissa Dora, about the whole Anunnaki DNA thing. And they're now linking Anunnaki as the originators of the whole ancient alien theory.
Yeah, off radar, people have been linking everything to the Anunnaki for years. And this is due to the fact that if you trace through genetics any single person's bloodline, so our DNA markers, they all go back to a single woman, a single female woman. So not a male and a woman, straight back to a single female woman.
Yeah.
And this is something that has always baffled science.
Oh, and another thing, right? When I was getting my tattoo done yesterday, the tattoo artist I was speaking to, massive conspiracy theories, big shouts out to Craig, absolutely massive. And he said something to me that I was like, do you know what, mate? I've got to bring this up on my show. I want to see what the listeners think. I want to see what Ben thinks on this one. He said that the craziest part of all that, you know, the cave drawings and the hieroglyphics and everything, all these like old ancient pictures they used to draw on the wall, all of them are wearing watches in these pictures. And I was like, do you know what? I never realised that. When I researched it online a little bit earlier, while I was on my break, and it is true.
Yeah, there's a lot of, when you look back on old cave drawings, old Sumerian, Aztec, Mayan, Indian, Egyptian, anything beyond the certain date of what we class as like the crossover date, which is about 4000 BC. You notice that they all have these certain items on their wrist. They all happen to carry certain items. It's nicknamed in cultology, we nickname it the handbag. You see them all carrying a box.
Yeah, he mentions about that as well. Watches and man bags. And supposedly, see now, I said to him, you just said that, and my brain's just ticked. And I went back to the whole Sandman thing. Because I got heavily into the Sandman books, and when they released the actual TV series on Amazon, heavily into it because I like this whole story of, like, you know, the Endless. You got Morpheus, you got Desire and Sleep and all that. And he always carries the bag of sanding. He's got the three things. He's got the helm of sleep. He's got the sand of sleep. I can't remember what the third one is.
I don't know. I've not watched it yet.
Oh, you need to watch it. It is obsessively good.
Lou's watched it.
Yeah, it's like, and I said to you about watching it because it's one of them things we talked about on the show before when we talk about things that cut right close to the mark.
Yeah.
I need
to get down and watch it.
He has to go to hell to get his helmet back. And he has to challenge Lucifer to they call it the greatest game to ever exist, and it's where they try and trump each other with words. Where he's like, I'm an anomaly,
Yeah, I saw that
hidden.
bit.
Yeah, that's crazy. I love that bit, best part.
Yeah, at the end he says, "I am hope."
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah, I
good.
need to. There's been the reason. If anyone actually saw the title of today's show, I said there'll be a mass catch up on tech. Is
Yeah.
because the past 2 weeks have seen massive, massive amount of advances in loads of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to quickly read off some of the topics before we start delving into them.
Go ahead.
So first one, going to coincide with what you and Kate were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
So Kate knows this because I sent her the link whilst I was on holiday. I was going to send it to you, but my phone ended up playing up like mad, so I didn't have my phone for a couple of days. And
I know you've got favourites. It's fine. I'm used to
it. By that point, we all know what I'm like. I completely ended up losing track of what I was doing. For example, when Lou's here, if you ask her how long it took me to chase after a sea turtle with a camera, it was 3 days of dedication.
All right.
So we'll start off and I'll read them out. So the one I sent to Kate was, and this you can easily pick up on the news, believe it or not, because it's in mainstream news. The headline is humans will achieve immortality in the next 8 years, says former Google engineer who has predicted the future with 86% accuracy. That's only 8 years.
Oh yeah, I was reading into this, and it heavily goes into the whole adrenochrome thing. Yeah, I've heard about all this.
Yeah. Now, taking that and coinciding that with another one that came out, which is a Korean scientist, also a tech company, is saying to record as much of your relatives as you can. By the end of the year, he believes immortality of bringing people back from the dead and uploading their subconscious to a network will allow you to talk to your relatives once they have passed.
So digital mediumship.
Pretty much. No, not digital, not even digital mediumship. Literally uploading your relative's consciousness into a computer database for an AI algorithm.
Me and Kate was talking about this whole AI thing and how much it's going to get to a point where it's going to be just crazy mad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
See, the more worrying thing is, this is already in effect already. A mum has done it with her 8-year-old child in Korea. They tested the whole premise and it works. So this is how close AI is to achieving what everyone fears, which is the great. I can't remember who said it. I think it might have been Stephen Hawking when he was worrying about AI systems. No, sorry, it wasn't. I think it was Brian Cox and quite a few others. Carl's. I think his name. I think last name's Carl Sergey, or he was in charge of SETI. Says that for humanity to progress into the stars, there is a possibility that we'd have to shed our human bodies and become more artificial intelligence or sentient beings. Now, we are not far away from this, which is really bloody scary.
It is really scary. It is very extremely scary and worrying.
If you think now, places like MIT in America can use a printer and print out a human heart.
They
organs out themselves. Yeah. And you think if you can upload your conscience, we send a printer over to, I don't know, Mars, and then upload your conscience into a body that's been created via this artificial printer. Are we on the lines of clones, or would that actually be you? This is where the line between humanity is starting to blur.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think that we're actually advancing to that degree, but yet the world is getting more and more lazy and stupid.
Yep. I could also show this just by a silly little thing as well that I realised whilst in Maldives. We live on an island. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they live on an island.
Yeah.
They have pure, clean water running through their pipes. It's the first place I've ever been away where you can, like, in the east, where you can actually drink water straight out the pipes.
Yeah.
They distill seawater to drink.
That makes perfect sense.
Why the bloody hell doesn't Britain?
Ah, it's just crazy. It's
If
just
everyone was on
crazy.
last night, if anyone watched last night's show with me and Lou, I was raving about it on the camera.
Just a couple of things from
Yeah,
Kate. Kate says, "What about this vaccine for heart disease and cancer?"
yeah, getting on to that next.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll skip that one. That's just someone. She says, "Is it actually the person though? I would think it's machine learning on how the person thinks and predictive, not actually the person themselves or their soul." See, this is where the line. This is what Ben's
Yeah,
talking about the line between AI and humanity is very, very blurred because we're not talking about uploading a personality. We're not talking about uploading a person itself. It's uploading a conscious. Yeah. So it's almost like uploading what makes us us.
anyone wants to watch a good film that this idea is sort of was loosely predicted. Watch it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger film. I think it's called Erase. Either
Eraser.
Eraser, yeah,
Eraser. Yeah.
where everyone is a clone.
Yeah.
But cloning is legal. And it's really it hits bang on the mark of ironically what we are in now. But there is still that question. If you upload your conscious to this system and then the system uploads your conscious through, say, a clone body, are you still human? Is the soul there? Because the soul is the one thing that science don't know what it is. They don't know what makes us human.
I just
They
had
know
a
what makes the
mad.
body tick, everything like that, but they can't. Scientists cannot tell the difference between me and Damon,
Yeah.
because we have a different personalities and all that. They can't
Yeah.
work that one out.
I just had a weird epiphany when you were talking about that. Because if you was to combine what you're saying about uploading consciousness to computers and then be able to upload that to an artificial body, and Kate has said about vaccines that can cure heart disease and cancer, technically speaking, the uploading of AI into a virtual reality state, then into an artificial body, that would be a cure for these diseases, these chronic diseases that you can't get over, because it's the body that's wilting, it's the body that's dying, not the consciousness of a person. So by taking the consciousness out of the meat suit and putting it into an artificial meat suit, that
Yep.
would be a cure, wouldn't it?
Well, that's where it lies.
Oh,
So
it's
this
getting
one,
so technical nowadays.
yeah. See, this is why I've got loads to bring you guys that I found that we've just been able to relax and actually look and read onto stuff that I actually want to. So, going on to Kate's thing with the jab.
Yeah.
Now, there is the ability that's found of a cure for heart disease and cancer that can be done inside a jab. Now, there's two approaches to this. There's one what I read. I don't know if I've read the same as you, Kate, so I'm just going to go off what I've read. One is a mixture of chemicals together that can be pushed into the body that brings about cures, that causes your body to basically regenerate its own cells.
Yeah.
The other one that I was reading, mainly nanotechnology, injecting nanites into your system that would repair and cause your body clock to go backwards.
This is the whole thing of the whole thing that Bill and Melinda Gates have been investing into, this whole nanotechnology in it. And I know that we're a PG show, and I get that we're not supposed to swear on here and stuff like that, but I just have to say out loud, fuck you, Bill Gates. You're ruining things. But anyway, that's just my opinion, and that holds no. That's just my own opinion, and it doesn't share the opinion of the other dimension. So Facebook, please don't ban us. It's an opinion of my own. You can ban me, but please let Ben still do the show. Thank you very much.
What's Kate saying it? Oh, RM, useless. Yeah, you are useless with technology. Has to
Oh
be
my
said.
god, yeah. She phoned me up the other day. She was like, "My computer's leaking." I was like, "Oh, don't be so stupid."
Yeah, I've got to sort your laptop out for you.
Does the
So
mind also age with the body?
you see, this is where that line crosses. Now,
Yes.
technically, your mind doesn't age. Your subconscious doesn't age. Your body does, which is your brain. So your brain ages, but the mind itself doesn't.
Don't see. This is where I would tend to disagree. Now, I would say that our mind and our consciousness matures.
Yeah.
Age would suggest that it deteriorates because when things age over time, they deteriorate unless it's wine because that gets better.
Exactly.
And men, we get better over age. But anyway, but yeah, age would suggest a deterioration or a change within the actual physical makeup of the thing. Because obviously, when cars age, they get more, they get worse, or wine gets better. So a physical change. I would say the conscious and the mind mature.
Yeah, well, that's not aging. That's gathering more intelligence to achieve a higher understanding of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them weird things. Again, not a lot of people know what would happen because I don't think anyone's willing to try it yet. It's an interesting one. I'm going to keep an eye on this one, guys, as best I can, and let you know. Due to the fact that they're trying to do this in line with cryo freezing, because we know how to freeze the body.
Demolition Man thing.
Yeah, we know how to freeze the body, but we don't know how to unfreeze the body.
I went into about 2 weeks ago. I was like working out, and I keep getting this weird thing where I think I'm having a hernia, but I'm not. It's almost like my stomach muscles fold when I'm doing abs, and they've got like it's called a cryo repair machine in my gym, and it like freezes the body to repair them. The strangest thing you'll ever use in your life. You literally feel like your head's really hot, but your body's like an ice pole. It's so weird, but it really does work.
You sit one of them
about. Joe, you saying about this whole artificial body? I would love to see what happens because I do actually believe RoboCop is going to be real.
Yeah, well, if you look into like the state of bionics now, there is a lot of AI systems that work along coincide and work along biotechnology. There's been a recent bloke who's had his arm reconstructed, if I remember correctly. He's had an AI enhanced chip in his head. Now, I'm not on about AI as in full artificial intelligence that knows what it's doing. It's an AI system that connects the thoughts of the human mind to the object.
Yeah.
Which has become an absolute brilliant thing for biotech.
Oh yeah. There's a thin line between artificial intelligence and I can't remember what they call it, but it's data module reliance. So where it's a subsidiary of what you're using. So like you said, it would work off the electrical currents of your brain. So it's a subsidiary of working for your brain. Whereas an AI technology would actually control your body in itself. I don't know. It's technology has just gone to a point where it's like absolutely crazy.
We are, from what I've heard in scientific communities of people I talk to, they don't think we're far away from this, what's known as a singularity point when it comes to AI.
We're also not far away to a giant reset.
Yeah.
This is the other thing I was reading, this whole prediction of a reset. Because you have the theorists out there that talk about these resets happening. So they will talk about societies will advance to a point, and then for some reason that society dies out. It happened with Atlantis. It happened with other societies like the Tartarians and stuff like that. It's almost like something, they say something comes from the heaven and creates this giant reset. Now, are we getting to a point where we're actually advancing that much that we're about to, like, the powers that be are going to come down and reset what we're doing? Maybe. I don't know.
Right,
Deep conversation tonight.
I've just realised I haven't shared this to the other group,
Oh, okay, cool.
and we know what
Hi,
Liz.
Annette.
She will kill me.
Guys, what do you think with technology nowadays? Or is there any technologies that you guys that have come across that we haven't spoke about yet? Oh my God, have you seen the film on Netflix called Bright with Will Smith?
Nope.
Right, so it's basically it's set in the day and age now, right? But it has this weird sort of magical twist to it. So you have humans, you have orcs, you have pixies, you have centaurs, you have elves, but each different race has a setting within society. So elves basically they run everything. Humans are like the middle ground, orcs are the lower ground. It's really crazy. But in that, right, they've got this thing called the Tesla tunnel. So if you own a Tesla, you're able to drive through the city without getting in traffic. I just thought, oh, that's crazy. That's a super amount of control. That actually exists in Los Angeles. There is such
Yeah.
thing as called the Tesla tunnel.
Yeah, it's supposed to be able to charge a car as you drive, from what a friend of mine said
Yeah.
out there.
But you can only use it if you drive a Tesla. That's nuts.
Sorry, guys, that are just joining us from the other dimension page. I screwed up.
Hi.
Yeah.
I mean, technologies, just the advancements are they can now 3D print food. I know that.
Yeah.
They successfully 3D printed the first burger, like I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know.
My point has always been when it comes to advances of technology, and this is something that a lot of people, I don't know if you'll remember it or not. This is a different thing. Can anyone remember Dolly the sheep?
Remember what? Sorry.
Dolly the sheep.
That was the first ever clone, wasn't it? First ever.
Yeah, back in 19. It was around the 1990s.
Yeah, it was not. I could be wrong here. Someone's going to Google me and make me seem stupid, but the 1998 really stands out in my head.
Yeah, everyone's saying, yeah, the first clone. Why did we suddenly stop?
Didn't she have like this rare genetic disease, like where she was born with the sheep was born in backwards or something? I can't remember. I remember reading something in the Sun about it.
No, the sheep was born perfectly. Perfect, identical copy. There was nothing wrong with it. Then all of a sudden it stopped.
I know why. We got all PC. That's what it was. Cloning's not politically correct because that clone technically doesn't have a gender and we don't want to misgender it. That's what it was.
By the way, if anyone does, I've just said because on that sort of notion of PC correctness, anyone would like a laugh, please go over to a Facebook page called The World Is Not PC Enough. It is run by a friend of mine. He is a farmer.
Yeah.
And you will do nothing but laugh.
Oh, it's like that new thing that everyone's been talking about. What is a Woman? It's a documentary on an American channel. You have to subscribe to watch it. I really want to watch it, but I won't pay to watch it. I don't pay to watch anything. The only thing I paid for I paid for my battle pass on Call of Duty, and that is it. I won't pay for anything else.
What Damon is trying to say is that he does pay for things. He does stream things legally, and is not admitting here to streaming anything illegally whatsoever.
Of course not. I wait for it's available on YouTube.
He waits for it to be available on TV, as normal people do.
Of course.
Christ's sake, I'm now officially the lawyer for the other dimension.
You know what it is, right? When we get on the show, I get so comfortable because I like literally we say all the time, all the guys and the people that are in the chat, they're literally like family now. And you feel like you're just chatting away to family and you don't realise that this is being streamed across like 2 different social media platforms and has the potential to hit over 1 billion people. And you think, nah. You don't realise that. It's never there in your head, you know what I mean?
As we are standing at the minute, we have 2,900 people on the page. We have another 1,000 on the other page, and we have, I think, still a small number of people on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. YouTube is not really our sort of platform, but we're there anyway.
To be fair, as you've always heard on the show, we love you guys, but we don't do this for ratings. We do this for fun. That's it.
There you go. I told you
Hey,
because she was born with some sort of disease. I said that.
I knew she lived longer than expected because they expected her to die within the first year. But yeah.
Can I just say, Kate, I really hope you didn't just go and Wikipedia that. I hope you didn't just go and do a Wild Bill on us. I know it's easy to forget you're live and anything can come out. Yeah. And Jonah, we and you got to think about it, especially this show as well, right? Yeah. There is potential for disaster on every show.
Yeah. Hey Charles, nice to join you on a dinner.
What you got for lunch? Sandwich.
We've had one show me and Damon did that got completely us in trouble, shall we say, on a certain subject. So I backed out of speaking about another subject because I know full well that we would get banned for that for a little bit because governments around the world do not like this one being pointed out at all because it's in plain sight and they eat it.
Yeah. There is a lot of potential, but we try to be. We try to get opinions over to you guys, but in a way where we're not getting banned. You know what I mean? So we try our hardest. We do try our hardest.
Yeah.
No way did Damon say anything wrong. Well, there you go. 2 against 1. We win now all day long in it. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, we all know Damon says nothing. Like we all know everyone on this show says nothing wrong. We just know that Facebook has this.
They've got fact checkers that don't actually check anything.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway, moving on and climbing out of them deep waters.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of fact checkers, this is the next one. And yes, Facebook fact checkers, you can go and check this one out because it's been verified by the Vatican, even though it's not mainly spoke about on Facebook. Believe it or not, the world does exist outside of Facebook.
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
There currently is a new scripture that has been found that is questioning everything that the Christianity Church believes.
Yes, I read an article on this the other day. In fact, it was funny because I got given a free newspaper while I was at work in London, and it was a Christian newspaper, and it was actually talking about this.
Everything that they know is coming into question, and they do not like it because it is too public for the church to control. Now, I'm not going to speak too much of said subject on here because I already had a post on my Facebook taken down because I spoke of said subject.
Right. Oh, dear.
I'm not kidding you, mate. As soon as I got found out myself, banged it, slapped it all over Facebook, laughing about it, and then about half an hour later, I got told my post was taken down.
Atticay, no, he's not an extraterrestrial. It's more brings into question his divinity.
Yes. Which also brings into question the whole of the church's divinity.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, saying that though, while you was away, I got a message from Jeanette while I was at the gym one day, and she was talking about this, talking about technology. The what's it called? The DARPA new DARPA satellite, the weapon system, the concentrated energy weapon system.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be a breach of HAARP, believe it or not.
Yeah, but they're saying
energy from solar energy for me.
It's a concentrated weapon well, they say weapon. It's not. It's a concentrated energy beam that's supposed to be able to reverse the effects of fracking, because obviously when we frack, we're pulling tectonic plates apart, which is causing other things to happen. This is able to move them close together. But there are conspiracy theorists out there, or people that are a bit loopy that turn around and say this could be a concentrated weapon. And there are links to that to the Malaysian Airways disaster. There's links to that to do with the explosion of the Chinese nuclear power plant. So there are things sort of banging about around that thing. So that's quite cool. That's something that I didn't research, but I thought I'd throw out there.
Some of this stuff, when it comes to that, is mainly directed at the old Star Wars project, which was around in the Cold War area about using lasers to knock out satellites and stuff like that. Also comes in line with the Rods of God, which is another weapon system that people have ummed and are about for years.
I'm sorry, when you said the Rods of God, I just thought dodgy 1980s porn film.
Yeah,
So,
as bad as it sounds, yeah, they were called the Rods. They were called the Rods of God. Ironically, as funny as the name is, they are considered one of the worst weapons in the world that could ever be used.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, all it is literally dropping a very large shaft. No matter how you speak about it, how you said that, it's just going to sound us. So the Rods of God system is literally deploying rods of, I think it was either granite or cobalt from orbit, and just the sheer kinetic force of them impacting the ground couldn't do more damage than a nuclear weapon.
Wow.
But without leaving any radiation.
Right, okay, that sort of makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, it does. Kate's part, she said, I'm really into doomsday planning and packing. Do you guys have any supplies or plans for doomsday? I do. Right, so you've got to think of it in this way, Kate. Right now, if doomsday is coming, it's survival of the fittest. Now, look at me as a person. I'm not the fittest. I'm not an alpha. I've got no chance. So what I've been doing, my plans for doomsday is I'm trying to get more flexible. So I'm like touching my toes and getting flexible. So when it does happen, I can bend over and kiss my ass goodbye. That is my plan for doomsday.
For me, I'm probably going to leave that to either Lou to answer when she's next on, or I'm pretty sure my sister can answer this. When I was, say, 16, of having maps out and literally marking roads and everything.
I've heard this story. You and your shovel. I've heard this story.
Yeah. Me and a few friends were convinced that the war was actually going to come. So we built basically a pillbox and a trench system by the A52 near our house. And me and one of my best mates, Matt, who were massively militarized, minded people, literally had the tactics of taking out the A52 and fortifying the area. Which, when you look at it now, where I am and what I've been through, I literally have the whole plan for where we live now in Jacksdale. I have an aerial map of everything. Yeah, everyone in Derby,
Costco as well.
Literally everyone in Derby has always said if the war ever ended, everyone would go to Costco because it's built like a fortress.
So yeah, if anybody, let's put it this way, okay, if doomsday does happen, right, we all know that the show will carry on, but the only person that'll be hosting it will just be Ben and Lou. I would probably be mutilated, turned into some sort of zombie, like something from that film with Nick Frost and Simon Pegg in it. What's it called?
What, Dawn of the Dead?
Shaun of the Dead. I'll be like that. Or Hot Fuzz. I love that film, man. I might watch that later.
As much as everyone laughs, Lou will vouch for this. I have a full map and everything of where I am and how to carry on surviving.
I'm nearly 70 years old, so I better hurry up and end. That's a joke. Oh dear. Oh, 70s are, mate, you've had a good innings, man.
Yeah,
Seriously. I'm going to be happy to make 40. I'm not
why are you
going to
still
lie.
working, buddy?
I'm not, yeah, but I get it. I get it because there
Yeah.
are the scare stories of people retiring and just like having nothing to do is that I think I'll be working for the rest of my life. He'll be the zombie version of Nick's character playing Cheers, Ems, thanks.
He becomes a zombie at the end of it anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah, and he's still playing the PlayStation at the end of it. He's still... I love that film, Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, I love it.
End of the World's a good one as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's the one about the pub, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Completes the trilogy.
End, yeah. Cornetto? Yeah, go on then. Right, so what other technologies are coming on our way? Because now I'm like literally sitting there thinking the whole Skynet thing was true and Terminator is going to take over the world.
Yeah, the other one's not so... It's a massive advancement. It's an interesting advancement, but if it goes wrong, we're all dead anyway.
I think if anything goes wrong nowadays, you're all dead.
Yeah, and that's with the advances of the fusion reactor.
I've not actually heard of this one.
China at the minute, as well as European energy companies. So these European energy companies are also backed by governments and a governing body. Have advanced the energy capabilities of being able to hold plasma, so that's hotter than the frigging sun.
Wow.
Inside a coil system and being able to use it. Now, at the minute, this system costs more energy to start it all than it puts out. But
right.
they've gone from being able to hold it for about 2 seconds to the last test was about 2 minutes. Now, this doesn't seem much, but this is a massive, massive progression in energy technology, which is going to cause some serious advances in technology. The only problem is, and this is where the doomsday bit comes in,
right.
If there is a crack in the magnetic holding system that holds it together to create the plasma, it would burn the world in about 0.3 seconds.
Well, at least I don't see it coming. Oh, this is that whole Project Icarus thing, isn't it?
No, that's a different project. That's to do with space travel engines.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
These plasma, like, it's basically trying to do fusion, but a very dangerous fusion, because if it's, like I say, if it splits, we're all dead in about 2 seconds. You don't even get to go, what was that? It's just gone.
God, yeah. Kate says, one thing I've noticed in the States is the night sky. Far more satellites and unidentified objects than in Europe.
Yes.
There's a really, really intelligent podcaster on conspiracy theories. He goes under the synonym Isaac Weishaupt, and he talks about this being the whole Truman Show conspiracy theory. Like the whole thing of like, have you seen the Truman Show? Jim Carrey, he lives in this made-up world, and he's got actors around him and stuff like that. It's like the US is its own like studio, and that's a dome, and that's why you see more in the night sky. But that doesn't explain people being able to travel outside of the US, so it sort of falls on its head, that one, really.
Yeah, it's the whole system when it comes to that is that it could actually be worldwide, and the elite are the ones watching us. But then you go on to the extended version where we are basically being observed by extraterrestrial races.
Yeah, the Men in Black locker theory, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Boss lady has entered the room.
You right, Lou?
And Evie.
Right, Eves. Shut up.
Yeah, picked it up. It's cold in there.
How came out cold for?
It's cold. It's cold.
Yes.
Well, when you come from a tropical climate, Lou, and you come to England, it's going to be cold.
Yeah, sure. Used to 37 degrees temperature. It's now like It was minus this morning because there was frost.
Oh, it's horrible. It's weird though at the moment because remember, 1 minute it's really, really cold, next minute like it gets to like 10, 11 o'clock, and you're like, right, I put 2 sweaters on this morning. Now I've got to take both of them off because it's warm. It's weird.
They reckon, as stupid as it sounds as well, they reckon that this is a byproduct of America and China using their own HAARP systems, that they've kind of screwed up the entirety of the atmosphere at the minute.
Yeah. I heard about it. It's the whole change of, and it got something to do with like the HAARP system is moving the polar opposites like quicker than they should be moving.
No, the what it is with the polar shift is that happens every couple of thousand years. So everyone assumes that it's the planet that's going to just go. Woof. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's the magnetic field that basically, because the planet wobbles,
Right.
the magnetic field wobbles, and all we're doing is seeing the wobble of it now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, with the HAARP system, the China got caught using it. Literally got caught using it.
Yeah.
Publicly, they got caught using it, which really, really screwed them all. And then America, ironically, got caught using it, which they managed to hide quite well.
Well, it's America. What do you expect? They can hide anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
China got
they done
caught using
Roswell.
The best
China can't
thing
hide
is,
anything.
the best thing is, China got caught using it
Yeah.
in the middle of the Olympics.
Well done, China. Good on you guys.
They
Really
literally decided to use it in the middle. To be fair, they did it for the right reasons. They wanted a clear day for the Olympic ceremonies.
Yeah.
But when the world's watching your like entry, like the ceremony for the beginning and the end,
Yeah.
you use it then when the world is sat watching. You go and use this advanced secret technology. Come on.
Well, if humans don't look any further than their nose, that's why. So that's probably why they did it. But they're just silly. Case put the weather in Illinois is F star. We had snow and ice last week. This week it's 28 degrees and wildfires. Next week it's tornadoes and high winds.
Yeah.
Well, at least you get weeks at a time. Like especially where I am in Essex, it is weird because we can have like 3 seasons in one day. Like one day we literally had snow, then we had bright sunshine, and then we had like this mad sort of like downpour and like massive, and it was literally in a space of like 2 to 3 hours.
We have a bit weird. Okay, Lou for some reason has passed me a box. They've been out and had nice meals and come back with fancy drinks. I just get a box, and it's not even mine.
No, I'll just show it to you. Oh, do you want to come?
So Lou has brought a box on palm reading.
Palm Street.
Oh, cool.
There's only 5, so I thought, why not?
The Lou's bargain of a £5. No doubt will be a divination on this one.
Yeah.
She would
Palm
have.
reading.
Yeah, Lou will be doing a show on this.
Cool. I like palm reading. I have like a strong lifeline, supposedly.
Mine said I died.
It's all though. I say I've gone live on the internet and gone, I've got a really strong lifeline. And then next week, Ben will be on the show going, right, we're now speaking to Damon through the Ouija board because he went outside and got hit by a bus.
According to mine, I died when I was 30. So I'm on borrowed time now.
Do you remember when the internet first came around? Everyone was doing their own death clock. Yeah, mine was like, you're going to live till like next week. I was like, oh, okay, fair dues.
I did mine and remember I was owing time. Like, how does it work?
But we talk about these technologies now, and we talk about this artificial intelligence and being able to submit people's consciousness into computers and stuff like that. How long is it going to be before they're able to predict these things?
Yeah. Well, you got that film, haven't you, called is it Limitless?
Limitless,
where they have the time on their wrists of how long they're going to live for, and you can buy and sell time. So
yeah. I've seen that. That's a really cool film because lifetime becomes currency instead of money, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's such a good film. I think they got someone like Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg or something in it. I'm sure.
No, it's I don't remember his first name, but Timberland.
Justin Timberlake.
That's it, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, that's a good film. That was a good film.
There's been some really, really good film. Like, we'll have to do a show on like really good scientific films that are somewhat like really close to the mark. What is it? The dogs are attacking the phone.
Well, we'll do one on films, but I want to watch The Pope's Exorcist first.
Yeah, a lot of people are mad at that at the minute in my circles.
I really want to watch it. Joe, I know it's going to be. I know it's going to be good. I know I'm going to sit there in storyline and be watching it, be going, yeah, all right, yeah, all right, yeah.
They've kind of trashed Gabriel, so we're all a bit mad. The guy was a legend, but they've kind of trashed his.
Ems is saying it's in that film called In Time. I don't know what it's called. I know the one you're talking about.
Oh, it might be In Time because Limitless was where they're on a drug, aren't they? Where it gives them unlimited capabilities within their own mind.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of Crank, the one with Jason Statham, where he has to keep his adrenaline up to a certain point or he dies.
Oh yeah, it keeps his heart going with like a car battery.
Yeah, that is such a brilliant film. Everyone was like trash talking that. I well enjoyed that. So, technology is just getting to a point where a lot of things
advancing beyond.
Well, like look at back in the 80s, we was watching Back to the Future and we saw Nikes that can tire themselves. You can get them, pick them up for £100 now.
Yeah, no, it's extremely strange how fast technology is catching up with films as well.
But yet, how stupid and how unequivocally humans have got to a point where they just accept things.
See you later, Charles.
Hi, Charles.
Yeah,
how we just accept things. We just sort of like the general mass media will go, oh, everyone's got to have a vaccine and a booster, and we'll go, yeah, okay, and we go and do it. Or you've all got to stay indoors for 2 years because, and we'll go, yeah, okay. Or they'll tell us that there's mass murderers on the loose, so stay indoors, and we're just so subservient, but yet we're so advanced. It's crazy. It really brings into detail the question like whether we are advancing or we are going backwards. Because technologies make us think outside the box, but are we thinking for ourselves, or are these technologies that have been already created and we're reverse engineering them? Maybe.
I am always on this scale of we had massively advanced technology once before, but something happened. This is why with the pyramids, I've always said there's evidence to suggest humans built it. However, I can't say what technology they used.
Yeah.
Because as I showed Lou, if anyone wants to see this is one hole in the argument I always put when people ask me about where the pyramids are. You believe aliens built them? No, I believe humans built them, and I can prove it with one simple thing. If you go on Google, and type in Giza graffiti, there is graffiti from the workforce that built the pyramids.
Right.
Inside the pyramids, there is a penis.
Okay. It doesn't mean extraterrestrials don't like drawing penises. They might like to draw penises.
No, but from a human point of view, we draw penises on everything. There is a penis on Hadrian's wall. The Roman soldier scratched it. Like I said, inside the pyramids of Giza, there's a penis done in. But like I say, technology-wise, we weren't using copper to make the pyramids. And this is where the black box of the Sphinx comes in. I don't know why I was struggling to pronounce that word. Which I will cover at some point because that's my tie-in to the technology we use wasn't human to make that.
Cool.
If you've ever been, there's anyone that's ever been there will question. It makes you question how it was built. It's above sea level for start, so they wouldn't have used rivers. There's no trees there. It's literally on the edge of the desert.
It is. It's crazy. I think when they built the pyramids, it wasn't desert, was it? It was jungle.
No, it was desert around that time. By that time, the environment had shifted. You have to remember, when I did the show, I was talking about it then. The environment shifted in the 3rd century. The pyramids weren't built till about the 15th, I think, century. Well, 15th dynasty. So there's a lot of questions there. A lot of questions.
There are, and you know what? I think the jury's out for me. I don't know what to believe. I don't know who built the pyramids. I don't. You know what? I've decided the pyramids were a miraculous conception. When humans come to Earth, they're already built. There you go.
See, the one question I've always said about that whole area is who built the Sphinx?
Yeah, really like symmetrically amazing, just a work of art by its dimensions or something.
Well, the Sphinx was there before the pyramids. So who built that building?
Okay, so alien plans, human built with help.
Yeah, there's too much bang. Like there's like I say, there's historical evidence of humans building them. However, there's no mention of technology that was used. There's no drawings of technology that was used at all in any way, shape, or form.
When you talk about civilizations reaching the peak of like technology and then disappearing, look at Atlantis. Yeah. The stories written of Atlantis is that it was most technologically forward place to ever be created.
That was another thing I was going to mention tonight, but I completely forgot about. People are coming round more and more to realizing that Atlantis did existed, and it existed exactly where we said it did, which is the island of Africa.
Yeah.
There is historical evidence that they're starting to find now of pots and everything within there because they're starting to open up a bit more and allow researchers there. I would not be surprised in the next, say, 10, 15 years, we're doing a show on the fact that they've named Atlantis as being here and we are talking about rewriting of history.
Well, that would be the most smug show that we've ever done in our life.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, 100.
It'll be an hour. It'll be like a 2-hour show, and the first hour will literally be me and Damon and Lou sat there going, "We told you so. We told you so. We told you so."
It's literally like popping our heads, going, "This for the next hour, guys. We told you so."
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, have we got any questions towards the end of the show from you guys out there? Stick them up in the chat.
One demon's here.
One demon's there. Is that Nala?
No, that's Buster.
All right, Buster. Something and Bus. So, things coming in the future. Don't forget this. I think it's this Wednesday. We've got the Witch's Closet with Scarlet Witch this Wednesday. I think Ben and Lou are on Sunday. You guys on Sunday this Sunday?
I am not too sure yet. I'll let you guys know Saturday due to the fact that I'm trying to catch up with a lot of stuff. And for those of you who've been bombarding me for ages, yes, I am finally sitting down and writing a book.
Oh, okay, right. Hey.
Along with writing a course as well. Now, the course is going to be exclusive, as Lou said the other day. People from the show will have first dibs on book if it's finished. We'll let that know, and we'll get sorted with the course. I'll organise that when I get a chance to actually sit and breathe first, once I've caught up on everything.
Brilliant. So keep your eyes peeled on the page if there's a show on Saturday or Sunday. Scarlet Witch will be live on Wednesday, doing the Witch's Closet this Wednesday. We will be live next Friday, and also hopefully soon we will be confirming the dates for the Other Dimension night down there at the Stoke on Trent Hunter Ghost Haunted Museum sort of place. Yeah.
Don't forget, guys. Don't forget, Lou's out tomorrow night. We're out. Sorry, tomorrow night with Jeanette.
How are you just kicking Lou out? Like, God, just go out with your friend. Leave me alone. I'm playing my game.
I'm like, yeah. If for those of you who don't know what we're sort of on about, Damon joined the live whilst I was screaming at my laptop because I was starting playing a new game.
So yeah, don't forget, guys. Lou and Jeanette and Ben will be live tomorrow night from a hidden nudist camp in Derby. So make sure you look into that one. It's gonna be definitely gonna bear on.
Sunburn.
Oh, look at the tan lines on that. Gee, you'd fit in down here, man.
Yes, that's us.
That's us for this week, guys. Don't forget, if you want to watch back on any of the shows, they're available all on the page. That's facebook.com/TOD Paranormal or facebook.com/Demonologist UK. The Patreon is still going, but to be honest with you guys, we haven't uploaded for a little while, but I might start doing that again soon. It all depends on time. Apart from that, keep your eyes peeled for tomorrow night when Lou will be out and big shows coming up. But from us here at the Other Dimension, it's bye from me and bye from Ben and Lou.
Catch you later.
And always remember, guys, if there's no other explanation, there is always